It is 16 days to the general election and preparations are in top gear for the polls. Nasarawa State Governor Abdullahi Sule says the All Progressives Congress will emerge victorious at the presidential poll. The governor, who is seeking re-election, says he is confident of victory because of his laudable achievements in the state and the dividends of democracy tapped from the federal government. He says these speaks volumes and the people of Nasarawa will reciprocate with massive votes for him, Bola Tinubu, and APC candidates seeking elective office. Days ago, the Tinubu Shettima campaign train berthed in Nasarawa State, where President Muhammadu Buhari declared Bola Tinubu the next president of Nigeria and Governor Abdullahi Sule as incoming for the next 4 years. Well, joining us now from our Abuja studio is the Executive Governor of Nasarawa State, Abdullahi Sule. Your Excellency, good morning. Thank you for joining us. And we also want to use this opportunity to express our condolences on the loss of your son.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I thank you.
Right. Let's begin with the campaign train, the presidential campaign train of the APC that berthed in your state days ago. There we saw President Muhammadu Buhari endorse the candidate or the presidential candidate of the party. Do you think that perhaps that puts to rest all the controversies and arguments of persons who have spoken about the president's not being fully a part of the campaign or the campaign train of the presidential candidate of the party?
Well, really, that was our prayer. Our prayer was to ensure that we got the president in a very good mood, where the president will open up rather than keeping things to himself. And so we had so many programs all set up for the president. Because if you notice, I actually visited the president a few days before the rally. And during my visit to Mr. President, we discussed various projects, which we know deep down that President loves to commission some of these projects. So we decided to line up the projects. So we decided also to ensure that President was in an excellent mood as we enter into the rally. So that's why we started with the various projects, some of them federal government, some of them state government projects. And then of course we went to the emir. The emir of Lafia is someone the president loves so much. That's why he in fact named the federal secretariat that was commissioned after our emir, of Lafia, the former chief justice, the former justice of the Supreme Court. So that's somebody that is very close to him. So we're able to put all that together. But earlier on, I don't think any one person will take the credit for the president opening up. But I think number one is that we were able to get the president open up as a result of so many forces that came together. First, he was very happy at the event. In fact, after the event, we went again and had lunch with him and our presidential candidate, Bola Tinubu, and his vice and the national chairman. And we were sharing lots of jokes, even after the rally at the square. And so the president spent a lot of time with us, cracking a lot of jokes with Bola Tinubu and the rest. All those were part of the planning to ensure that it went well. So we're happy that Nasarawa State had become the state of unifying that and putting to rest all the rumor that Mr. President was not with Ahmed Bola Tinubu.
Well, it's an interesting thing you have said. There was also the other grain of the narrative, in the lead up to that campaign. This came from your brother governor, Nasir El-Rufai, who said that there are some elements in the Aso Rock who have been described as fifth columnists who do not want the APC to win the presidential poll. Did you get a sense of that when the president came into Nasarawa? And what's your response?
Well, I think first and foremost, as individuals and as governors, we have different ways that we respond to some of this kind of frustration. And I will tell you my number one frustration on the Naira exchange. On this Naira palaver that we were facing, everyone knows, and even INEC is now asking for logistic support because logistic has to be cash. So here we are in Nasarawa State looking for the president to come and commission projects. looking for our presidential candidate to come for a rally, and we didn't have 5 million naira cash. 5 million naira we didn't have from any of the banks. So I had to, in fact, speak directly with the governor of Central Bank and pleaded with him. And I will tell you, my brother, that up till the time of the event, even 25 million naira promised to us by the Central Bank governor was not given to us until after the event that we finally got 25 million naira. Now, look at 25 million naira considering the amount of logistics that you are going to have. So that's huge frustration. If it was another person that was expressing his frustration outside, I will do worse than El-Rufai to come out and start talking about Central Bank governor, the villa, all that, what have you. And you have seen the crowd in Lafia. The crowd from 2 or 3 local government areas will consume the entire 25 million naira. But we had to start thinking outside the box to do other things, before we get that event successful. So I think El-Rufai had spoken his mind, and he has spoken out of the frustration of not getting things done. And I think so many Nigerians are also doing the same. We saw what happened yesterday in Ogun State, and then we are seeing the governors as a forum had seen Mr. President yesterday with the security chiefs. We have seen the APC governors has seen the president, about 5 days ago, where the president promised that in 7 days he will address all the concerns. So it's a big frustration all over, and sometimes when you are frustrated, you say so many things. And I have also seen where the Minister of Information, Lai Mohammed, has responded to what Governor El-Rufai has said, and also the response again from El-Rufai when he said he didn't name anybody. He just said some elements in the villa. He's not out. So these are the kinds of things you go through. And I think it's unfortunate as a whole that we are having this problem at this time. And that's why this is the first time we are seeing, the INEC chairman going to Central Bank, pleading for him to get cash, for him to do that. So if we knew we were having elections, if we knew we were having these kind of problems, why having this exchange right now? So those are the frustrations Nigerians and everybody is going through. And it's unfortunate, it is sad.
All right, Mr. Governor, this challenges are things everyone is facing around the country, and I know your state is not an exception. But how are you coping or interfacing with residents of the state regarding this peculiarity or this challenge right now that everyone is complaining about? I know you would have listened to traditional rulers, you would have listened to women leaders, you would have listened to youth leaders and people in the villages. What are they saying? What are you telling them? And what's that interface?
Yesterday we were in total local government. Yes, I had to travel. Day before yesterday I was in Nasarawa local government. Yesterday I was in total local government. Total local government doesn't even have a bank. One bank doesn't have. And this is a huge local government that has border with Abaji. So you can see the frustration has gone beyond what you are talking about. So I had to, in fact, I went all the way to Umasha, spoke with the people. People are extremely frustrated. I told them the president had given us 7 days to address these issues. I told them the governors yesterday were also meeting with Mr. President to see if we could address the issues. I explained to them some of my own frustrations, like I have just indicated to you right now, about getting money even for logistics. We have 13 local government areas. Assuming we are only taking, roughly, 200 people, from every local government area. That is just 2,600 people. Do you think even the 25 million will be enough to mobilize for such people? These are the kinds of problems that I see. So the people in Nasarawa State have known me to be somebody who is very transparent with them, who will tell them as it is, who will tell them the facts the way it is. So, and I use that as an opportunity to tell them again the truth, that this is what we are going through. This is what Mr. President has said. This is what the governor of Central Bank has said. Because all the frustration we can get from the banks will tell us that their hands are tied. They can't do this, they can't do that, they can't do this. Nearly every bank you go, they tell you that they have CBN officials with them. They can't do this. So it is highly, highly, highly frustrating, my brother. I don't know. So Nasarawa State is not an exception. But the reason why we always go around to ensure there is no problem in Nasarawa, because the moment there is problem in Nasarawa, there is problem in Abuja. Look at our proximity, with majority of some of the workers that are working right here in Karu. So today I'm in Karu local government under the same mission. I'm going around again to talk to people, to do that. That's what we keep doing, But if it is frustration, people are frustrated. You can see it directly in their faces. It's written all over. So Nasarawa cannot be an exception.
Right. Despite these challenges, we could see a number of persons who thronged out to show perhaps their support for the presidential candidate and the president when they came to the state to campaign. And the question is, how were you able to mobilize these people to come out despite the challenges that you just mentioned? And what is the message that these people are sending perhaps to the opposition within the state?
We had to think outside the box because if we can't allow people to frustrate us down to our knees. So we had to think completely outside the box, and that's what we did to ensure that we mobilize people. There were instances where we had taken some money on credit, from some other people that had availability in order to make sure we mobilize people. There were instances where we were able to make transfers to certain people, like the transport union. This is the first time that we didn't give money to people. We actually hired the truck directly from the National Union of Road Transport Workers, and we were able to pay them. And we took, again, credit from them. Okay, we are owing you on this, we are going to pay you once all these problems are over. These are the kinds of things we did, before we were able to mobilize our people. Because we had to think outside the box. We can't fold our arms and say that somebody is frustrating us, because if you do that, then you have given up. So we never allow that.